Hey, it's Chad from Mars Consulting here, and in this video I want to talk to you about something that most remodeling and design build companies don't actually realize that is holding them back from hitting that 4, 5, 6 million mark. It comes down to where your leads are coming from. If right now your business runs on referrals, leads from sites like Houzz or Angi, or you're basically buying leads from other agencies that sell them to other like 3 or 4 contractors at the same time, I'm not here to tell that it's wrong, because clearly something is working if you're still in business. But I need you to think about something for a second here. Every single one of these sources have one thing in common. That is that you have zero control over them. You can't turn them up when you need more work, and you cannot slow them down when you're busy. So you just kind of wait and hope something comes in. Don't get me wrong, that is totally fine when you're small and you're basically okay with things being unpredictable. But the second you decide you want to actually grow this thing and build a real company, with a real team that depends on consistent leads and consistent work coming in, that approach, it starts to fall apart pretty fast. So let me break down to you why each one of these sources that I mentioned will become a problem at scale. Let's start with referrals. And look, I love referrals. Everyone loves referrals. They close easier and the trust is already there. But the reality is you cannot really build a growth plan around them. You basically have no idea when the next one is coming, and you have no idea how big the project is going to be. You basically cannot wake up one day and say, hey, we're gonna get 3 referrals this week. So it really doesn't work that way. Referrals basically are kind of like a bonus, not a strategy. Now let's talk about lead sites like Angi, Houzz, and all of these websites that sell leads. The pitch sounds great because you're basically kind of getting leads without doing much. But what you're actually getting is a lead that got to you and 3 or 4 other contractors at the same time. So you're basically now in a race to call them first. And even if you call them first, you're in a race. It's like you're competing on price, and the homeowner just comparing prices from other contractors. Of course, the quality of those leads is all over the place. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, because the platform doesn't care if the homeowner got a 10K budget or a 150K budget, as long as they are the lead and they're interested in, hiring a contractor. And then there's, of course, the agencies and services that promise to send you leads. And some of them are fine, but most of them are doing the same thing as the lead site. They are just sending you shared leads, just with kind of like a fancier wrapper around it. You are still not in control of who sees your message and what your message actually says and the kind of people you attract. Here's the bigger picture. When you take a look at the 4 main problems that hold remodeling companies from growing, which are essentially inconsistent lead flow, bad lead quality, slow follow-up, and no measurement and tracking system to know what's working and what's not working, almost all of them will trace back to the same root issue, which is you're basically depending on sources that you cannot control or you cannot improve. Because when you cannot control your lead source, you cannot control the quality that comes in. And when the quality is bad, your team obviously will waste time on the wrong people, which means that when your team is chasing bad leads, they are slower to follow up on the good ones. And because there's no serious tracking, you cannot really know what is working to do more of it, or what is not working to stop doing it. So what is the alternative? It's basically running your own ads and owning your traffic source. I know this sounds obvious, but hear me out. Because most people, when they think about running ads, they think about wasting money or getting a bunch of garbage leads from Facebook. And yeah, it's only gonna happen if it's done wrong. But when you actually own your lead source, it means that you control the message and you control who sees the message. And you also control what the offer says, and you decide how much you spend and when. If you need more leads next month, you can make that happen. If your pipeline is full, you can pull back. And that kind of control, it what actually makes it possible to plan growth and just expand with more confidence. It also means that you can control and fix the other problems, because now you have something that you can work with and improve over time. And I'm not saying that referrals are bad or lead sites are totally useless, but you just need to use them as extra volume on top of something that you own and that is more predictable. But if referrals is your main game plan and your goal is to get, let's say, to 5 million a year and run a real operation with a team that is counting on you, that is one stressful place to be in, because one slow month and everything will feel shaky. The goal is to have something that you can rely on, something you can build on and improve, and to basically own your source of leads. Over the next videos on this channel, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, how to get the right kind of leads, and how to make sure to protect your team's time and grow with confidence. So make sure you are subscribed. If you need help with your marketing, check out the link in bio.